What is up, YouTube? Lizard Jesus bringing you guys Age of Empires Mobile today. Today we're going to be doing a commander review on Yodit. We're going to cover pretty much everything on Yodit. We're going to cover all of her skills, her gear. I'm going to talk about what she does. I'm going to talk about why I like using her. I'm going to talk about why I'm using universals in her and why I think she's going to be a really, really strong primary. Yeah, we're going to be going pretty much over everything, my lineup and all that. So, let's get into it. Yodit is a commander that comes out later on. She is available from the wheel. I got her from the wheel, and she comes out a lot later. I think she comes out after Boudica. I'm pretty sure she comes out after Boudica. She's a little bit of. I'm not gonna say she's an end game commander because like we're not really in the end game yet. I would say she's more of like she's kind of like a mid game commander that is usable in the end game, but we will have to wait and see for what the end game has in store for us. So let's start off by reviewing her kit. She's got an AoE skill, which is really, really nice. We love AoE. So she's dealing 3 instances of damage. That's basically like damage over time, but like in 3 seconds. So yeah, she's dealing damage for every second over the period of 3 seconds. In a fan-shaped area. When she has 4 stacks of deterrence, she consumes these 4 stacks and changes to 5 instances of damage and grants an 100 initial rage. This is really, really cool. I'll explain why this makes her super powerful later on, but it for the most part is pretty obvious why she's powerful. Her signature skill, she deals might damage once to the target, a lot of might damage, and adds 1 stack of deterrence, with each stack of deterrence increasing the hero's might up to 4 stacks. Also, there is a 9% chance to enter the damage immunity state for 1 second, which all damage is ignored. All damage, might damage, skill damage, what else is there? There's strategy damage, counterattack damage, normal attack damage. For 1 second, having all damages ignored is honestly pretty huge. It's pretty huge. We're going to be moving on to her other skill. Very vanilla skill right here. Just one of the basic vanilla skills. Deals my damage to an enemy troop and increases the hero's damage by 9% for 6 seconds. So she's buffing herself and she's buffing her lineup for a little bit. Or I think herself. I'm not sure if this buffs the lineup. But she's buffing her damage for a little bit, as well as dealing an instant single target nuker, which is kind of cool. Every time, now this is her last skill, every time the hero activates their signature skill, except for passive skills, it increases the hero's might damage by 10% up to 5 stacks. This percentage obviously goes up as you increase the skill. So keep that in mind. Before we go further into the video, let's just delve quickly into her other skills that she has. So she has this skill called Executor. Increases the hero's signature active skill activation chance by percentage every time the hero activates a signature active skill. There is a 10% chance to increase the skill damage by a percentage. That's a pretty good skill. I think that's a pretty good skill. I actually find it. I actually find it. So hold on. Let's go over that again. Increases the hero's Increases the hero's signature active skill activation chance by a percentage. Every time this hero activates a signature active skill, there is a 10% chance to increase the skill damage by a percentage. So this is really cool. This is a good skill. She's increasing her activation chance, and every time she does activate her skill, there's a chance that skill damage is increased, which is alright. I don't know. I think I would have to buy this one later on and do some experimenting with it. You know, she's also got another vanilla Peerless Strike. Deals high might damage to enemy troop. I wouldn't mess around with this skill. This skill is really, really basic. If you're looking for a single target damage, go with Battle Roar over Peerless Strike. Battle Roar is just doing more damage, and you're increasing your damage over time. Now that we've gone over all of her skills, here's what's really good about her is that she's a commander that, as the fight goes on, she deals more damage. And the reason being is that because She's going to enter the battle with 100 initial rage upon entering battle, which means that you will throw your active skill off before your other opponent. But this is only if she's the primary. This is only if she's the primary. So this is why I think this is why I'm using universal sculptures on her, and I think she's worth leveling up, and I think she's worth being a primary. She's a very strong primary. But because she has that initial 100 rage, you're going to be getting more stacks of deterrence on your enemies, which means you're going to be dealing five instances of damage over time more often. Now, for those of you who don't know, she works a little bit like this is giving me Tamiris vibes. This is giving me Tamiris. Tamiris, for every normal attack, is inflicting poison, and then when she throws her active skill, depending on how many stacks there are, she's going to remove those stacks and deal bonus skill damage. But honestly, what's better about this commander is that she's dealing AoE. So she's going to be dealing bonus damage based on how many stacks she has in an AoE. This is awesome. This is really, really awesome because you're giving stacks to one person, the one that you're connected with, and then once you reach a certain amount of stacks, you remove those stacks and then deal 5 instances of damage. That's a lot. That's a 500% damage rate in AoE. I believe Miyamoto right now is dealing 3 target AoE, and it's close to 500. But you also have to keep in mind that I have Miyamoto maxed out at level 120. So once she's maxed out, I mean, hey, dude, this is going to be like more than 500. It's going to be more than 500. So this is really good. So the power creep, we're finally looking at a commander where the power creep is noticeable. There is good power creep here. She's going to be a commander that you're going to want to have for over a while. And she seems solid, bro. I don't have her as a primary right now, which is why I don't have my best equipment on her. And the reason being is that she's just not level 120. And my Miyamoto is a higher star level. But I am using universals on her. I'm spinning. This is the only wheel commander that I'm spinning. I'm spinning her from wheel, and that's it. I'm going to show you guys my talents that I have on her. So, I have all your basic that you have to pick here. But when it comes to Interpret Warrior, I did go a little bit onto the right tree just to reduce the damage taken by skills. Reduces the troop damage taken, just a bit of tankiness, just a little bit of tankiness. But I did focus. I went all in on when it comes to Interpret Warrior. I went all in on the left side, might damage, increase damage of your skills. Just really, really increase all of your heroes' damage as much as you can. Increase the strategy. When it comes to strength and numbers, increase my strategy, increase heroes' damage, increase my heroes' might, and increase armor as well. I didn't mess around with any of the stuff with gathering or siege. I didn't mess around with siege or anything else like that. When it comes to first strike, I selected reduces the damage taken, damage reduction, armor increase, might increase, normal attack damage reduction, and strategy increase. Oh, I didn't grab that one. Sorry, my mistake. Now we're here at Innate Onslaught. I went a little crazy on Innate Onslaught. Innate Onslaught is a really, really powerful tree, so I went into both. I got troop defense bonus, solo damage reduction. This is like when you're just fighting in the map, so that's really awesome. Troop defense bonus, armor increase, might increase, reduces damage taken while in solo battles, increases your troop attack, increase your troop attack bonus by 1.5%. And then I got War Hardened as well, but I'm going to just probably go in for health. I'm just going to go in for health and might. And here's what I would do is I would just go health and might is what I would do. So she is a warrior, her specialty. So you're going to want to pair her with warriors, but she focuses a lot when it comes to active skill and dealing damage, which is why I have her paired with Miyamoto and Tribuana. I think this is a very, very fine infantry lineup, and it's probably going to be my lineup for a while. The first one that will be replaced, I think, is pretty obvious, is Tribuana. Tribuana is strong right now, but for a support, for an infantry warrior support, it's quite clear that there's going to be better support in the future. She's good right now, and I'm going to take all of her skills to max level. I'm not starring at Tribuana. I'm never gonna start Tribuana. She's a support commander. You kind of have her as a secondary. Like I said in my other video, the only time you would start up Chibiwana and use her as a primary is if you're doing some niche technicality infantry support role, but that's a video for another time. This is all about Yodit. When you guys get Yodit, I definitely would use her and I would level her up. She's amazing. She's really, really powerful. Really powerful. I really like her a lot. She's overall, she's just a really solid PvEer. PvPer. She's really solid for just battling people. That's what she's really designed for. She's designed for PvP, and she's good at it. Signet ring I have on her is when your troop takes strategy damage more than 1% of their max units in a single attack, it reduces the strategy damage taken by a percentage for 6 seconds. That's really cool, really good, and I'm pretty satisfied with her. So yeah, that's my overall rating for this commander is that she's probably an S plus. I think she's an S plus infantry commander. She's probably one of the best infantry commanders in the entire game right now. Right beside Miyamoto. Miyamoto is pretty OP right now, especially once you start to star him up. You'll notice that he punches really hard. But Yodit has to be either the best or second. You know what I'm gonna say? She's the best infantry commander for free to play. If you are a complete free to play player, you will not have access to Miyamoto. This is your commander right here. You're gonna want to go with Yodit. Free to play, must have, S tier. Would recommend to all players.